Hi everyone, my name is Shawn in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the book snob tag. If you hear noise in the background, that is my washing machine. The book snob tag was created by Tia and All the Books, and I'll be linking their YouTube channel down in the description below. I'll also be linking all the questions for this tag down in the description below in case you want to do this tag. The first question is Adaptation Snob. Do you always read the book before you see the movie? No. I mean, I'm reading the Twilight series for the first time right now, and I'm trying to force myself to read each book before I see each movie just because, I don't know, I feel like I should try it for once. But generally, I'm the kind of person that can separate a book from the movie, so I'm not really like a snob when it comes to watching film adaptations. I'm like, it's a different story than the book, so the differences are fine. If the characters are changed, it's fine. I'm normally not that upset by them. And because I can separate the two stories, I can watch the movie and then read the book later and be completely fine. Basically, the general idea for me when I'm like separating these two things is I'm like, the characters will sort of be the same, the plot line will have some similarities, but other than that, I'm like, it's fine if it's completely different. I don't know if I'm weird for that, but I just am that way, and I honestly can't think of any film adaptations that I really hate besides City of Bones. Format snob. You can only choose one format in which to read books for the rest of your life. Which one do you choose? Physical books, ebooks, or audiobooks? I choose physical books. I honestly can't remember things very well when I listen to it, and I honestly have a hard time listening to things and keeping concentrated on them when I don't have a visual element to it. So audiobooks are just sort of like a no for me. I've honestly tried to listen to audiobooks. I tried to listen to Into the Water, which is just a bad book in general, so I just didn't finish listening to that one. And I tried to listen to Emma, and Emma, the writing is a little hard to get into, but like the Audible version, they have a good cast, but I just couldn't focus on it. So audiobooks are no for me. And then I love the feeling of holding open a physical book, and while I do really like ebooks, if I had to choose one for the rest of my life, it would be physical books because I don't want to give up that feeling of holding the book in my hands and cracking it open. Ship snob. Would you date or marry a non-reader? Yeah, I think I would. I mean, if we had like other interests in common, like if we like the same video games or we like the same movies, then I definitely could probably like date or marry them. And for me, reading isn't the make or break for a relationship or friendship or anything like that. I've had plenty of friends who don't like reading, and that's completely okay to me. Genre snob. You have to ditch one genre never to read again for the rest of your life. Which one do you ditch? Horror. I haven't read many horror books, but the ones that I have read I haven't liked. I don't like to read a book and feel scared or disgusted by like violent stuff in it, so horror is not my go-to genre. I very rarely ever read it, and I just hate it. I mean, no hate to you if you like horror, it's just not my cup of tea. Uber genre snob. You can only choose to read from one genre for the rest of your life. Which genre do you choose? Also, my refrigerator started making noise. I hate my refrigerator. The genre that I choose is fantasy. Fantasy is a genre that I feel like has a lot of wide-ranging topics in there, and there's a lot of subgenres that fit into fantasy. So sometimes fantasy can be focused a lot on romance, but it could still be considered fantasy because maybe it's like a vampire romance. And then dystopian a lot of times also falls under fantasy, so I feel like if I chose fantasy to read as just that one for the rest of my life, I could also sneak in ones from other genres because technically if there's a fantasy element in it, it's considered fantasy, you know? Community snob. Which genre do you think receives the most snobbery from the bookish community? Honestly, contemporary. I don't know why people don't like contemporary. I mean, I don't gravitate toward contemporary, but I do really enjoy them when I read them, but it just for some reason gets a lot of hate from people, and I don't know why. I mean, maybe it has something to do with the fact that most contemporary books, at least that I've seen, are heterosexual relationships, and maybe people want more diversity, and a lot of times in fantasy there can be more diversity, so maybe that's why, but I'm not really sure why people hate contemporary so much. Snobbery Recipient. Have you ever been snubbed for something that you've been reading or reading in general? I've been snubbed by one of my family members a lot because they don't like reading, and I was snubbed when I read Cursed Child for the first time. I still really love Cursed Child, and I'm proud of the fact that I love Cursed Child, but people hate me a lot for liking Cursed Child. And I also was receiving some snubbery when I first started reading manga. I don't read manga as much anymore, but people for some reason are so like skeptical and hateful of manga, and I'm not really sure why. Like, yeah, you read them pretty quickly, and sometimes there can be some weird things in there, but most of the time they're really good and interesting. So yeah, I've definitely been a recipient of snobbery. I try not to snub people or give snobbery to other people because I feel like even if I don't like a genre or a book, other people should be allowed to enjoy and appreciate what they like. And I think we should ideally aim to get snobbery off of the YouTube comment section. Like, why are we hating on each other for liking a book or liking a certain genre? Like, why do we have to be mean to each other? Why can't we just spread positivity on the internet, you know? So that is all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Again, all the information for this tag and all the tag questions will be linked down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to me if you haven't already, and I will have all of my other social media linked down in the description below, including my Goodreads page where I leave most of my reviews. I hope everyone has a great week, and I hope you are enjoying the nice weather if there is nice weather where you are, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye!